Take the hit, take the hit, take the hit. Welcome back to FPL, Take the Hit. You're here with Mick and Job, and we are looking at blank game week 28 with our quickfire preview. Let's jump straight into form focus, Joffy boy. We're looking at the form of some great players in FPL. Who you got? Who is looking the goods for blank game week 28?
Well, kicking us off this week is my punt of the week last week, which is Bruno Fernandez. So I had a few people thanking me for my punt last week, and hey, my pleasure. Hey, look, it's a pleasure. Even though I didn't bring him in, but I'm happy for you guys, all right? Happy for you guys. But I think that, form focus, we've got to touch on Fernandez. We've found out that he's on penalties as well, which I didn't think he was actually going to be on penalties. I thought that Marshall would have been that guy to step up when Rashford's not taking him. But hey,
great penalty too.
I love the hop, skip, and the jump pens. Those ones there when they work. But so he's got a goal and 2 assists in his last 2 games, and just a bit of an update. He's got 16 goals, 16 assists in all comps this season. With Sporting Lisbon and Manchester United. So one to look at for sure, Mr. Fernandez. And what about yourself, Mick? Who's your form focus guy?
I'm jumping over to the Wolf Pack. Don't turn your back on the Wolf Pack. Diogo Jota. It's a bit of a left field one. I know that. He hasn't completed 90 minutes in the last 4 games. Another little bit of a down point. But he did get a hat-trick in the Europa League. And he basically almost got a hat-trick in the Premier League versus Norwich. 16 points, mate. That's nothing to sniff at. And, all of a sudden, he's up front alongside Jimenez. And I think those two together, they're a really dynamic combination up front. And maybe he'll take away some points from Jimenez. But at the same time, he's 6.1 million. He's a great price. So, if you look at his stats over the last 4 game weeks, which he hasn't really played much. He's had reduced minutes. He's created the same amount of chances as Jimenez with 4. He's only had 4 less attempts than Jimenez on 10. And if you look at his shots inside the box, he's literally only 3 behind Jimenez on 9. So some really great stats with reduced minutes for Diogo Jota. And he's an end of the season kind of guy. He does it. He's done it. He did it last season.
Yeah.
So Diogo Jota, man, he's my guy for form focus, buddy. Let's move on to our top transfers in blank game week 28. Job, who you got blank game week 28?
I mean, this one here is just one that I guess everyone's going to with obviously Aguero and Aubameyang both blanking. They're going to Vardy. And I might be I most likely be doing the exact same thing with Aguero to Vardy. So he's obviously a player that's out of form. We were well aware of that. He hasn't scored a goal in his last 7 game weeks, which is a lot. But saying that, he's got 17 goals and 6 assists this season. So this season's long, but in his last 7 away games in the actual EPL, he's scored 8 goals. So that's something to keep you kind of he's playing away here to Norwich, and Norwich like conceding, and Vardy likes scoring. So 2 + 2 equals get Vardy in your team. But I'm bringing him in most likely. It's risky though. Definitely anyone that's going to bring him in, it's a risk. But what about you, man? Who are you looking at?
Yeah, see, I've gone a little bit different with this one because obviously I don't own Aguero or Aubameyang, so for me it was a Grealish replacement. I'm looking for a Grealish replacement. I know a lot of people out there are. One such replacement, if you do have a little bit of spare chunk of change, an extra 2 odd million, is Richarlison. So this Everton team under Ancelotti has looked amazing. I'm really impressed. I've been trying to bring in Richarlison for a while, and now all of a sudden, my hands are a little bit tied because Jack Grealish. So it's blank game week, and there's just some tough fixtures. Richarlison's in dynamite form, scored a goal in each of his last 2 games. His stats are great considering he's only played 390 minutes in the last 4 game weeks. He's still up there with top 5 for shots, just 1 below Marshall on 10. He shots in the box at just literally 1 below. He's actually got more than Marshall. Sorry, shots in the box on 8. So that's top 5 of any midfielder in the game. So when you look at that, you pair that with obviously the fixtures coming up aren't the best, but this Everton team are fighting for Europe. So I expect good things from this team. So 8.3 million. I'm probably going to jump on board with Richarlison this week, Joe. There you go. We've both gone with our top transfers in the actual top transfers in. How about that?
Hey, look, it happens. All right. Sue us.
All right, man. Let's move on to the sad section of the episode. So it's time to go. I'm so sad for these people.
I'm so sad for these people.
Who is the time to go?
I mean, this one here is just City and Arsenal and obviously Villa and Sheffield, but we're going to go with City and Arsenal players. I'm going to go with City and Arsenal players. So just being careful. Like, I'm not going to say someone like KDB is one to get rid of, especially with City potentially having a double game week in game week 29, which we're still unsure. So this one here is just kind of just see how you go. Just wait till the transfer deadline because we might know a bit more about the game week 29 double potential. But yeah, if they don't have a double, I think City players, someone like Aguero, you can obviously move on. But yeah, it's and obviously Arsenal players like Aubameyang as well. You might want to bench him. Like it's a tricky one, this one here. I just wanted to put this one out there in the it's time to go section because there's some City players and some Arsenal players that can go, some that can stay as well. So it's just be careful, I guess. But what about yourself?
Yeah, definitely be gamble aware because there's going to be some gambling going on here, taking out the likes of Aubameyang when all of a sudden he comes back in 29 So a bit of risky business there. For me, it's Lundstrom and Grealish. So it's my own team. I'm bringing a little bit of personal effects into it's time to go. That's who's probably going to go for me. Lundstrom, he's not getting chosen for that 11. So he does really need to, go. It's sad. It saddens me. And same with Grealish because, he's missing a game week. There's just some tough fixtures coming up. So I'm kind of leaning on the fence of getting rid of both of them. So, when it comes to replacements, I mean, Lundstrom, I think the easiest replacement for Lundstrom is going to a Wolves defender because their fixtures coming up are fairly decent. I mean, when you look at Wolves fixtures, you got Tottenham away, not the best, Brighton home, West Ham away, Bournemouth, and then Villa. So they got some good fixtures there. So the likes of Roman Saiss or Bowley, great replacements for Lundstrom at the moment. And then when it comes to Grealish, obviously you can go Richarlison. You can go someone like Harvey Barnes, you mentioned, or even someone like McNeil, who we might mention very, very soon. So, yeah, those guys, unfortunately, it is time to go. All right, mate, let's move on to our punts of the week. I'm going to jump in ahead of you, Job. Sorry, but I just mentioned in my punt of the week, McNeil. I'm going to go with McNeil, Job.
I like it.
I know it's definitely a left field option. He did obviously get his first double-digit haul of the season against Bournemouth with a goal and assist. But, I mean, he has threatened throughout the season, and this Burnley team is on an absolute tear. So, I can see them, getting up and doing the business against Newcastle, who's completely lackluster in form wise. So I'm going with McNeil. His ownership, he's only owned by 0.8% of the game. So, I mean, that's a punt of the likes that we've probably never had on this bloody thing before. So I'm going with Dwight McNeil, mate. Who you got for your punt of the week?
Well, my punt's a little bit more owned. Where is he? His ownership is 2.4%. Harvey Barnes. 4 goals, 7 assists for the season. He's had a good season. It's obviously his best Premier League season to date. And he's got 3 goals in his last 4 starts for the club. I know that he didn't start against Manchester City, but that was to do with the change of shape. So I can see him getting his name on the team sheet from the minute 1 against Norwich. So I think that he's a really good shout. He's a good replacement for Grealish, like you said as well. And I just think that even for like a Traore replacement, I think he's someone to look at in the coming weeks. Especially with that bit of nice fixtures. So we'll see how we go there. And what about some captain choices, Mick? Hit me with your captain choice of the week.
Yeah, very nice, mate. Yeah, well, for me, it's either one of the Liverpool boys, Joff. So it's going to be hard to go past. I mean, even the likes of Trent. I honestly considered Trent this week. But Trent or Salah, one of those two. It's going to have to be a Liverpool option. It's hard to go past Trent, Salah, or Mane. And then my transfers for the week, like I kind of mentioned before, it's probably going to be Lundstrom to Bowley and Grealish to Richarlison. That's probably going to be me, mate. What about yourself?
Yeah, same. I mean, just straight on Salah. I can't see any other plays that we can. I mean, you can kind of risk it and go Vardy this week if you do own Vardy, or I don't know, do Fernandez if you want to be big crazy. But I mean, look, things have happened, but you just got to stick on Salah. Salah all day. And my transfers for this week, most likely, not 100% yet, but most likely Aguero to Vardy and Hayden to Barnes. And most likely a defensive move as well, because I've got to round out, make 11 or 10 players on the pitch, because I'm actually going to be playing with no keeper this week, just to let you guys know. I've got Henderson, and I don't plan on bringing in a keeper and taking another 4, because I don't think there's going to be many clean sheets this week. But so my third move most likely will be Kelly to most likely Lascelles or Fernandez from Newcastle, whoever I can afford.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Just a quick shout out to our patrons out there. Thank you so much for supporting us, guys. If you don't know what Patreon is, head over to patreon.com. That's where we get all our support from all our followers, mate. So we really appreciate everyone out there that does support us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate it much.
Other than that, mate, thank you so much for joining us for our quickfire preview. Good luck in blank game week 28. Hopefully we've given you a bit of insight in how to handle this and how to just handle these rocky waters that are coming up, mate. Other than that, as we say to FPL, take their hit. Always remember to stay positive.
Keep chasing them green arrows, guys.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Take the hit, take the hit.